Mahashivratri, the 14th day of the dark fortnight in the month of Magh in southern India, and celebrated as the 14th day of the dark fortnight in the month of Falgun in northern India. This is a major festival celebrated widely. Shivratri is described in the Purans as the festival most dear to Lord Shiv. In the Shiv Puran, Garud Puran, Skand Puran, Padma Puran, Agni Puran, Ling Puran, in all these Mahapurans, the story of Shivratri is told in great detail. Similarly, in Dharm texts like Varshakriya Kaumudi, Dharm Sindhu, Nirnay Sindhu, Varshakritya Deepakam, Krityasar Samuchayam, Hemadri, Ishan Sanhita. In such Dharm scriptures, the greatness of Shivratri has been described. So, regarding the determination of the date, it falls on the Krishna Paksh Chaturdashi of the Magh month. The main rules or observances we need to follow: one must fast on that day. Usually in our almanacs and calendars, this subject is written very clearly, so there is no need for doubt. According to the date mentioned there, the entire day must be spent in fasting. So, in the morning, after bathing and praying to the Lord, one must make a mental resolve: I am observing the Shivratri Vrat. With such a mental resolve, one must remain in a state of vow for the day. For us in Kerala, the way we can observe the fast is to abandon rice meals on that day. Just as we observe the Ekadashi fast, one can observe the fast by avoiding rice and foods made of pulses like peas and lentils. One may consume fruits, tubers and such after that. That is how the fast is usually observed. Furthermore, if one's health permits eating only milk and fruits, observing the fast in that manner is considered highly meritorious. So, having observed the fast, the evening, the night is what holds the importance for Shivratri. Because Shivratri itself means the night dear to Shiv, or the night dear to Shivgans, or the night when the manifestation of Shiv in the form of the Ling occurred. Many such meanings are attributed to Shivratri. The Shiv Puran contains the story of the emergence of the Shivling. So, the night itself is the most important part. It is mentioned specifically Chaturdashi Labhe Chaturdashya Tadlabhetu Amavasyam. Also, Ravivar Yoge, Bhaumvar Yoge, Shiv Yoge cha Ati Prashastam, as indicated in the Skand Puran. So if Shivratri falls on a Sunday, Ravivar or Tuesday Bhaumvar, according to the specific Shiv Yoga, that too is very auspicious. Therefore, that special day, this year's Shivratri falls in such a way. So that special quality is very beneficial for us. Everyone, as much as they can, should resolve to observe the Shivratri Vrat. If there is a Shiv temple nearby, go there in the morning, since not everyone may have the convenience to do so at home, bathe, worship, and make the vow there. Or, if that is not convenient, one can make the vow at home itself. In the evening, at twilight, from 6 baje to 6 baje the next morning, the main observance of Shivratri happens then. It is the Chaturdashi of the night that is pervasive. So, following the time indicated in the almanac is the only way. For those who do not know astrology, that is what must be done. The resolve sankalp is important. After that, in that resolve, from evening, from 6 baje to 9 baje, the worship or chanting takes place in 4 prayers. Until the morning, there are 4 prayers. A prayer is 3 hours. It is also called a yam. 6 to 9 is the first prayer. 9 to 12 is the second prayer. 12 to 3 is the third prayer. 3 to 6 the morning is the fourth prayer. In these 4 prayers, there are specific pujas. Though the rules of these pujas are detailed, what we can do is perform chanting in these 4 prayers. If you are in a Shiv temple, certainly there will be pujas for each prayer there, and you can attend them. Otherwise, if one knows how to perform the puja oneself, one can do it. The chanting of the Panchakshari mantra, that is what we can do most especially and simply during this time. So, chant the Panchakshari mantra as much as possible. Then, recite Shiva Stotras. If you have the Shiv Puran, recite the Shiv Puran. These are the things to be done until morning. In current times, there are festivals and cultural programs in temples, but it is not necessary that all of them align with spirituality and ritual. Therefore, perform jap and stotra recitations. The issue of sleep arising when doing this alone is there, so considering one's health condition, if one can stay awake, staying awake is good. Since it is a vrat that spans the sleep time, one should try not to sleep. Chanting the Panchakshari mantra, if one knows the nyas prescribed for it, doing all that is good. Now for each yam, a specific method of puja is mentioned. If there is a Shivling, one can perform Abhishekam and puja on the ling itself, after purifying it according to the rules. One should clean it and do it as per the puja rules. If we do not know, we can call a priest who knows and have it done by them. They will do it correctly according to the rules. If we know, we can do it on the Shivling or on a picture of Lord Shiv. Regarding the puja of the 4 yams, in the first yam, That is the time from 6 to 9. At that time, making the resolve Prathamayam Pujam Karishye. If it is jap being done, make the mental resolve jap maha Karishye or Stotra Patha Karishye. And in the method of puja for each yam, the mantras are different. So, in the first method, doing the Shodshopchar and offerings, it is done by chanting the mantra Shivaya Namaha. If doing Abhishekam, in the first yam, the Abhishekam is done with milk. In the second yam, similarly, after making the resolve Dvitiya yam Puja Karishye, imagine the seat and offerings with the mantra Shankaraya Namaha and perform the worship. If doing Abhishekam, the second Abhishekam is done with curd. That is the Abhishekam for the second yam. In the third yam, the Tritiyam Puja, making the resolve, invoking the seat and offerings chanting the Maheshwarai mantra. There, the Abhishekam is done with Ghrit. Ghrit Abhishekam. In the fourth Yam's Puja, saying Rudaya Namaha, from 3 baje to the final Yam. The puja is done saying Rudraya Namaha. The other mantras and pujas and Shodshopchar are detailed finally. The Abhishekam is done with honey. So, first with milk, in the second Yam with curd, in the third Yam with Ghrit, and then the final Yam with honey. By performing Abhishekam and doing the puja for the 4 Yams, after that, once the puja is over, in the morning we must conclude the Vrat. One must perform Vrat Samarpanam. For the dedication of the Vrat, Yanmayadya Kritam Punyam Tadrudrasya Niveditam Tvatprasadat Mahadeva Vratadya Samarpitam Prasanno Bhavme Shriman Sadgatihi Pratipadyatam Twadalokana Matrena Pavitrosmi Na Samshayaha. Saying this mantra, perform the Vrat Samarpanam. After that, after performing the Vrat Samarpanam, Namaskar and other rituals, then in the morning comes the Paran, which is the method of concluding the Vrat. For that, the general rule states, one must observe the Chaturdashi Tithi and perform the Paran at the time the Tithi ends. In the morning, if the Chaturdashi Tithi has not ended, it is said that it can be done on the Amavasya Tithi. Therefore, Krishnashtami, Skandashashti, Shivaratrihi, Chaturdashi, according to the Askand Puran, for these 4, the Vrat Paran must be done at the end of the Tithi. Tithyante Paranam, it says. So, perform the Paran accordingly. At the time of performing the Paran, one must recite this prayer as well. Sansar Klesh Dagdhasya Vratenanen Shankar. Prasid Sumukho Nath Gyan Drishti Prado Bhava. Gyan Drishti Prado Bhava, praying thus. It is said that one may perform the Vrat Paran. By doing so, performing the Paran, if we are making the Vrat Sankalp in the temple, the custom is to perform the Paran in the temple itself. When performing Paran, one can consume food, some food or prasad to break the fast. Furthermore, regarding Shiv Nirmalyam and accepting Shiv's prasad, the Purans say one must be very careful and do it with great attention and devotion. Just as the mind should be pure, the body must also be pure. One must accept the Shiv Nirmalyam with extreme devotion. Nirmalyam yohi madbhaktya shirsa dhareshyati. Ashuchir bhinna maryado naraha pap samanvitaha. It says, that is, when accepting Nirmalyam, it must be accepted with devotion towards me, with Bhagavad Bhakti, with Shiv Bhakti. It is said that a person without that Shiv Bhakti, therefore with that attitude, we must accept the Nirmalya Prasad from the temple, be it the Tirtham, the Pushpam or the food offerings like Payasam. Thus, this is a general introduction to Shivratri for everyone. Even if everyone knows it, I am stating it. Regarding this, the rule for staying awake at night, according to that rule, it could be Shiv Puran Parayanam or in the Skand Puran and Padma Puran. There are sections where the Shivratri Katha appears. Depending on which Puran is accessible to us, one can read and recite that. So, if it is not possible to sit and recite continuously for the whole night, in between, one can perform bhajans like this. Similarly, according to the service performed in each yam, according to the divine service, it is said that one can take a little rest. That is, it can be jap. Also, if doing this special puja for the 4 yams, it is also mentioned that one must bathe, etc. before each yam. Here, Shivratri is celebrated everywhere in India, but it happens in different ways in different places. It has been seen more prominently in North India. There, in all ashrams and temples, the pujas of the 4 yams are performed grandly with Rudrabhishekam. When that puja is done correctly, The time until morning passes easily, without any difficulty, and with devotion itself, one can stay awake. Because when one Rudrabhishek puja is completed, it takes about 2.5 hours. So that time covers an entire yam. Along with that, when reciting other stotras, specifically the Shiv Mahimnaha Stotram, composed by Pushpadanta, Shiv Mahimnaha Stotram is usually recited. So, by reciting such special stotras is how the observance is done in North India. In any case, do what is possible for you. If you do not know other stotras, you can recite Shiva Sahasranam Stotram or stotras like Shivanandalhari written by Shankaracharya Swamiji. There are many Shiva stotras. All those can be recited. Thus, may Shivratri be blissful for everyone. Shivratri is stated to be the most important observance for Shiv Bhakti. Staying awake, for those with normal health, if they stay awake, it is said to be very good. Because the changes happening in the body, the change in the doshas, staying awake is a practice favorable to that change. That is why the sages have prescribed such a practice for that day. We can contemplate its detailed meaning later at some point. Harihi O. Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Harihi O.